direct experience is king. Many people understand things on a conceptual level and parrot concepts without understanding. A conceptual level of understanding is not enough because it's not true knowing. This is no different than a parrot repeating what you say to it. It doesn't know what it says means. We are drowning in information and knowledge, but lack awareness. Concepts are turned into ideologies and paradigms that run your whole life, let alone the difficulty of understanding the spiritual topics that I talk about. Let me give you an easy, down-to-earth example to help you understand what I mean. Have you ever had someone ask you to describe the taste of a food? This I think most people can agree is not easy to do. Not only is it not easy, but whatever explanation you give them will never get them to know the taste, ever. Even a basic food such as a banana. How do you explain the taste of a banana to someone who has never had one? All the words you say to express it are just that, words and concepts. Only through direct experience, by eating it, will they know. So, parroting is as follows. So first, parroting is where people mimic words or ideas without a genuine comprehension of the subject matter. Parroting happens when people echo statements or arguments that they have heard from others, often without critically evaluating the information. It is particularly prevalent in the age of information overload, where social media platforms and news outlets bombard us with a constant stream of data. As a result, people may adopt certain viewpoints simply because they seem popular or align with their existing beliefs. Parroting can also arise due to cognitive biases and mental shortcuts. When faced with complex issues, people may rely on simplified versions of arguments, lacking the depth necessary to grasp the nuances of the topic. As a consequence, discussions may become shallow, lacking the richness and diversity of perspectives that genuine understanding can bring. Parroting can be problematic because it gives the appearance of understanding, but it lacks the depth of comprehension that comes from actively engaging with the material, critically thinking about it, and integrating it into one's knowledge framework. So the things that I say, my articles and videos about spirituality and metaphysical topics, are just words pointing to something that can't be explained. You can only know it by experiencing it directly. So knowing the taste of a banana is implicit knowledge, which means it can only be implied or indirectly expressed, no matter how much you talk about it or whatever words you use to describe it. So here's an explanation of implicit knowledge from Wikipedia to help make it more clear. So implicit knowledge, as opposed to formalized, codified, or explicit knowledge, is knowledge that is difficult to express or extract. Therefore, it is more difficult to transfer to others by means of writing it down or verbalizing it. This can include motor skills, personal wisdom, experience, insight, and intuition. For example, knowing that London is in the United Kingdom is a piece of explicit knowledge. It can be written down, transmitted, and understood by a recipient. In contrast, the ability to speak a language, ride a bicycle, knead dough, play a musical instrument, or design and use complex equipment requires all sorts of knowledge which is not always known explicitly, even by expert practitioners, and which is difficult or impossible to explicitly transfer to other people. Wikipedia. So, all I can do is not nudge you or suggest something to you, and maybe through that you can come to know. Once you know, you won't be able to transfer it to other people, but you can use language, models, concepts, and whatnot to explain it to someone else. So here is another example. In the US, people are obese and say that they know they should eat better. A person who treats their body badly by smoking and eating unhealthy may understand on a conceptual level that those things are bad for them. They can even tell you to your face that their health issues are caused by those things, but yet continue to do them. They don't know. This is unconsciousness, lack of awareness. No amount of conceptual knowledge will fix this. In my article, Insights, I mentioned that knowledge acts as a bridge, grist for the mill, for an insight to be had. Knowledge without awareness is weaponized by the ego to serve itself. Whether it's knowledge from religion or science or whatever, it doesn't matter. People talk about the horrors that religion has caused in human history, but you can also say that too for science, with its atom bombs and whatnot, has done worse. But my point is, it's not knowledge or information, but the lack of awareness that uses knowledge to harm. In other words, ignorance. When you have information that just works because it's practical, you trade truth for practicality. The ego cares about survival. Humans love stories and concepts, but we get lost in them. The mind gets lost in a maze of stories and ideology. But realize this. Stories and concepts are just that. Stories and concepts. Direct experience or knowing is beyond those things. Recently, I saw a video on YouTube that took place at Walmart in the US, and it reminded me how big America is. One thing that a lot of people say is, America is big. Even people who have never been there. But I don't think they know. Not until they go. It always shocks me when I go back to visit. Similarly, in 2019, I traveled to Cambodia, and many people say it's a poor country. All the pictures and the videos don't do it justice to understand the poverty there. Not until I went there and experienced it. It's also the same as me living in Japan. I can tell all my friends and family about Japan. They can only kind of know through the pictures, videos, and stories I tell them. This is also why I recommend you undergo your hero's journey. The hero is transformed through the journey he has undergone. He is not the same person. When the hero returns to the village, only he understands the journey's essence, the journey's true essence, and has the wisdom earned through the process. He tells the villagers stories and shares wisdom through the words he uses. So maybe one day they will embark on their own journey so that they too can come to know. I hope this video was helpful. Like, subscribe, share it with a friend, and I'll talk to you next time.